Wanting to multitask, you open up 100 browser windows on your computer, only to find that your computer puts you on mandatory break while it works on making that happen. Threads are fickle things, seemingly behaving one instance but not the next. Much like the component of a polygamous relationship, you'll quickly notice that threads will need to be properly managed and have to deal with several challenges in order to make sure that the benefits outweigh the headaches. Let me know in the comments below how many puns you noticed so far. Putting some of the obvious social and other benefits aside, one should consider the following challenges. More partners mean more activities in your household, but there's still only one washing machine. This is like threads competing for the resources in your program, let alone the bottleneck ones. Imagine the unique nightmares and the level of diplomacy needed to ensure everyone gets to wash their clothes so that dirty laundry doesn't hit the fan. If that's not enough of a nightmare for you, then imagine a list of partners outside the laundry room, each holding a basket of dirty clothes, just like a Black Friday sale. You might have to use a lock on the laundry room and not share the key, just like your threads will need mechanisms not to use the same resources, preventing hell breaking loose when the undergarments of different threads get mixed up together, or worse, a thread interrupts another thread by stealing resources by, say, emptying the washer to load their own clothes because of some sense of entitlement, leaving a pile of half-washed, wet clothes somewhere for the exception handling system to deal with. Some spouses may have more pressing needs, like needing the car to an interview versus visiting their mother. This is basically like having threads with a higher priority in your program. Imagine your shared calendar on the fridge as it becomes a chaotic epicenter of guerrilla warfare with entries of different colors. Never mind last-minute priority changes like emergencies, making sure that appointments with the hairdresser are not emergencies. Good luck. I hope you aren't colorblind. Picture a nice family dinner where everybody tries to outshout the next person just to be heard. This is like threads attempting to communicate using shared data or signals. Effective communication becomes similar to getting your hands on a talking stick or some other coordination process. Threads need well-defined protocols to interact so that messages don't corrupt your program. Personally, I can't see myself being able to communicate with more than one thread at my own dinner table, let alone those children threads. Having more partners in your relationship is like adding more threads to your program. The complications don't add up, they exponentially explode like a rocket taking flight. What once was an easy date reservation has become like organizing a wedding. Not only you'll have to schedule ahead, but you'll also have to carefully organize the seating arrangements to make sure that you avoid potential conflicts between your threads. Nothing will ever go wrong in this ever-spinning situation of personalities and schedules, right? You always remember the birthday of your one thread, so that won't be a problem with two or more. Let's throw out the teenager's optimism and look at reality. Errors will happen. Threads raise the complexity with exception and error handling. Not only will errors occur and need to be handled, but they may affect other threads that were doing something else. Think of someone starting a dishwasher just before someone else jumps in the shower. It will require very good mechanisms to make sure that each thread handle errors gracefully. Maybe make sure that you have a backup plan of flowers and apology cards ready to be given when needed, considering which thread likes flowers and which is allergic to chocolate. And while we're at it, let's hope that that one thread doesn't mention that you forgot their birthday not too long ago and made your household system go into a cascade failure since you didn't have proper thread isolation. If I haven't scared you yet, the threads will give you the cold shoulder repeating, "I'm fine," whenever you ask. So make sure you have the proper logging and monitoring in place to trace back what went wrong and see exactly which thread turned on that dishwasher has that other thread scream from the shower. Locks or mutexes are like locks on a bathroom door. If you need to use the bathroom resource or data, you go in and lock the door. When another thread arrives trying to walk in like it owns the place, it can't open the door because you already locked it. When you finish your business, you unlock the door and leave the bathroom, leaving it available for any thread waiting to use. If the door is not locked, the thread can go in. No two people can use it simultaneously, with no exceptions. However, you must be careful when you lock resources for threads that will use them for a while. Think of one thread making themselves more attractive than usual for whatever reason. They might monopolize the bathroom resource for a lot more time than usual, which could cause some threads that are waiting in line to fail in rather unpleasant ways. Because of this, you should not lock resources for any longer than you have to. Atomic operations are like those rare times when you get to pick what you want to watch on the television and change the channel without anyone complaining about it, with no negotiations or squabbles. It happens in one quick step, with no preamble, fanfare, or warning, with peace and quiet following the action. Or it doesn't happen at all because the remote's batteries are dead. There's no in between. We all know that you're the one with the remote control, and obviously, football and other sporting events should always take priority. Imagine that you send one of your threads to retrieve the newspaper before they get fully dressed in the morning. The newspaper is outside and those nosy neighbors are watching. Your thread will have to wait for you to tell them when those neighbors go about their business so they can retrieve the stack of papers without them being able to snap pictures or start gossiping. Essentially, condition variables are used to make a thread wait patiently until some other thread signals that it can proceed. Think of waiting for your favorite television show to start without the couch or snack. It's your birthday, and several of your threads are working together to make you a birthday cake. Your favorite kind is a unique recipe accessible only on this highly controlled exclusive cake recipe site. Your threads are following the recipe, essentially reading it. We could say read access. Or in the thread world, we could call it a read lock. Everything is going fine until the world-class chef behind the recipe spots a minor mistake and decides to fix it. In so doing, he takes the recipe offline, essentially removing read access from anyone so he can edit it. He essentially gets a write lock. Your threads are kicked out of the recipe while this is going on. In a half panic, they continuously try to gain access to the recipe only to be told it's not accessible, only to keep trying. They're essentially displaying traits of insanity. When the chef is done, he saves the changes, which removes the write lock. This has the effect of allowing your threads, and others, to finally stop displaying over-the-top emotions as they can once again access the recipe to resume their work. Or start over, depending on whether they notice the changes. Picture the refrigerator in your home and all your hungry spouses with different eating schedules. You wouldn't want your late-night snack to clash with someone's early morning smoothie prep, either causing a catastrophic avalanche or, worse, a lecture about healthy nutrition. Thread-safe data structures ensure that multiple threads can access and modify data without stepping on each other's toes. Likely not to smudge the nail polish freshly applied. The data structures are equipped with internal mechanisms like locks or atomic operations. Like having a fridge with an advanced scheduling system or a polite but firm sign saying, "one at a time, please." This way, threads can mingle, read, write, and update data without unleashing chaos, ensuring your program doesn't end up like a kitchen after a food fight. Multithreading is much like navigating the intricate dynamics of a grand ball in our polygamous family example, where each spouse eagerly competes for the main dancer's attention. It's like being the master choreographer who meticulously designs each movement and step, ensuring that every partner shines without causing a chaotic game of Twister on the dance floor. Without careful planning, your program could end up like a ballroom blitz, where jealous threads, much like competitive spouses, clash in frantic confusion, leading to a performance that's more of a comedy of errors than a ballet. Ensuring that each thread, similar to each eager spouse, is carefully synchronized in this dance of concurrency is key to keeping the program twirling efficiently and correctly. Otherwise, you might find your program's execution more tangled than a group of novices attempting a Viennese waltz for the first time.